There has been one asset class that has been the wealth source for 90% of all millionaires here in the United States since the 1800s. And today, I'm going to share it with you. No surprise, it is real estate. Millionaires love it, billionaires dig it, and with the election coming up, you should know why presidents and election candidates also love real estate. But why do people just continue to buy homes here in the United States? And why do the ultra wealthy always have some exposure, if not all of their exposure, to the asset class of real estate? Now, I have worked in the mortgage and real estate space for about 24 years, helping hundreds of people buy and sell homes and restructure their existing mortgage debt. I take a very holistic approach to the actual mortgage process and understand that it has greater implications than just the actual piece of paper that the interest rate is written on. But my name is Arjun Dhingra. I'm a certified mortgage advisor, and I would love the opportunity to help out in any way if you're thinking about making moves in real estate, particularly here in the San Francisco Bay Area. But it would mean a lot to me if you liked this video so that we could reach more people with content like this, and subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to reach you with relevant market information. So let's get into today's topic. Now, there is no denying that real estate investment is one of the fastest and most secure ways to build wealth generationally here in the United States. But what exactly am I talking about here? When I say real estate investing, I'm not talking about just necessarily buying a home to live in. No, investing in real estate means putting money into cash flowing properties, some of which can ultimately turn into passive tax-free income if you do it the right way, instead of taking money out of your pocket. And when we think about it, there are so many reasons as to why 90% of Americans love doing it this way and why so many presidents also continue to invest in real estate. The truth is that these people see real estate as a real strategic avenue for wealth creation, tax advantages, and true stability. Now, a big reason is that America is for sale. This is the only country in the world where the access to information about property or land that can be purchased is available to anybody. Then the access to capital to be able to go and leverage somebody else's money, meaning the bank, to buy that property that is for sale, coupled with the resources of service providers here, and you have the greatest opportunity in the world for buying and owning real estate, which is why so many people love it. It's the access and the ability to do it. It exists here in the United States like no other, and is one reason above so many that this is such an amazing country. But I'm not exaggerating when I say that presidents and wealthy people love real estate for all those advantages. So if we want to know this for sure, let's break a few things down. First, there's historical success here that's tied to all this, which is where and how the 90% of those Americans actually built their wealth through real estate. This trend shows real estate as a trustworthy trend and way of building wealth, to the point where billionaire industrialists like Andrew Carnegie have praised it since the 19th century, saying that more money has been created in real estate investing than in all industrial investments combined. Powerful statement from one of the wealthiest names in all of US history. When tenants pay rent in property that you own, you take care of the expenses for the property, and what's left over is the monthly passive and often tax-free income that you get to realize. This is called cash flow. Grant Cardone, somebody who's also a big figure in current real estate history, talks about it, that everything is all about cash flow. Cash flow is king. You'll hear him say this over and over again. Now, this is the benefit that has helped so many millionaires continue to expand their wealth and create multiple passive streams of income that are not tied to their time. This frees people up, and this is why it also creates such generational wealth. So instead of working actively in one job to earn a salary, which is the old traditional American way, you continue doing this, but while doing so with the money that you're making and saving, you invest it into cash flowing assets such as real estate and start to create multiple revenue sources. Rinse and repeat this cycle, and you have so many revenue sources that you could eventually leave the job that you have and take advantage of all of this income tax-free. Now, a lot of people look at this and look at real estate as an asset class and say, no, I prefer to try my luck at stocks. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, there are many people who have created insane amounts of wealth and continue to every day through the stock market. But real estate investing and stock investing are not the same thing, and here's why. First of all, cash flow does not happen for the vast majority of stockholders, which is why so many people see investing in this asset class as very risky. There's also a lot more volatility in stocks, and you only make money if you sell the stock after the value of it has gone up from the point at which you purchased it to the sell time. Now, unlike stocks or bonds, real estate is an actual physical asset that you can touch and feel. The stock is a certificate of ownership in something that you don't actually own or have much of a say in or can control the asset. That alone provides a great sense of security. And plus, housing as an asset class is something that never really goes out of style because everybody needs shelter here in the United States. People always need a roof over their head. So they turn to housing, whether it's to rent or to own, when given a choice between that or putting their money into another asset class. So this means that despite what's going on in the broader markets or the economy, this is a relatively safe asset class because there's always such demand for it and it never goes out of style. And that's not even the half of it. Real estate actually happens to be one of the best hedges against inflation, and I'll tell you why. As inflation rises, and the definition of inflation is too many dollars chasing too few things, and we've been experiencing housing inflation here for a number of years. But as it happens, property values and rental amounts will actually increase. So the owners benefit from this uptick in appreciation and the cash flow. This is why real estate is so appealing in places that are highly prone to inflation. And there's also the generational wealth transfer. Real estate as an asset is allowed to be passed down through generations, meaning that people who own it can leave it to their heirs, which reduces housing costs for those heirs, and it provides financial stability for a family lineage. But what about property values going down? This is a viable question. And yes, that does happen within all housing cycles. But if we look back at the overall graph and trajectory of real estate over a 30, 40, 50, 100-year period, the line pretty much goes up. Sure, there might be some hiccups along the way due to certain things, whether it might be a global pandemic, a massive global recession, or some type of financial economic collapse. But overall, housing as an asset class is very resilient, is very quick to rebound, and continues its upward ascent. Now, if you're still skeptical about this, drop me a comment here in this video and let me know what you think as to why you may not agree with this, or if you do and you're feeling me on this one, throw me a comment. Now, we talk about politicians and they fall into the class of millionaires. Many politicians enter office at some type of a reasonable socioeconomic status, but for some reason they leave as a multi-millionaire. Now, that can be debated as to whether or not that's right or that's ethical in another video, but the truth is that many politicians that are in office, particularly presidential candidates who have accumulated a lot of wealth because of their influence and their business ties, will put their money into asset classes like real estate and benefit from all of its advantages that we've talked about here in this video. But like all those political candidates, all the millionaires in this country love real estate for all the financial advantages it brings, particularly when it comes to taxes. The US tax code is actually set up and designed to help people make money and avoid paying taxes. Now, it's always been pitched to us that it's this complicated thing and it's a group of terrorizing politicians that are after us to try and come get our money. But for those that actually read this contract that we all have as citizens with our government, and very few people actually read it, you will find out that it's actually set up to help you make money. You just have to understand it. And the wealthy, particularly the politicians in this country and those that own real estate, they very much understand it. Real estate allows investors to leverage, meaning they can put up a small amount of money, have a financial institution loan them the rest, and acquire these actual real estate assets. This is a rinse and repeat model that does not exist when it comes to buying stocks. You can't leverage stock buying opportunities, but you can leverage purchasing real estate. And even though you're leveraged, you still have full control over that asset, how to improve it, how to increase its value, how you're going to generate cash flow from it. This premise alone has allowed more investors and more people to enter real estate as an investment tool with a smaller amount of money to be able to go out and acquire more property. In other countries, it doesn't exist this way, with much higher down payment requirements, more significant capital reserve requirements and rules, and just stricter credit standards. But going back to taxes, you have depreciation, the ability to deduct property taxes, and improvements that are made to those investment properties as huge ways that you can recoup your costs. This means that investors are able to keep more of their earnings and increase that cash flow. So while we sometimes see a lot of politicians demonizing people for not paying their fair share here in the United States, a lot of those people that they're criticizing probably own a very good amount of real estate, which means they're getting a lot of passive tax-free income, which is not their fault because again, they're playing by the rules. That's the tax code and how it is set up. It's designed to help you make money. But most of these politicians who are criticizing and demonizing people, all in the name of class warfare to try and get votes and garner up a lot of support and whip people up into an emotional frenzy, they themselves also own real estate. And they take advantage of these same exact rules. So to summarize this and make this very easy to understand, so many people generate wealth by investing into real estate for a lot of different reasons. You have financial advantages, generational wealth creation, risk management, tax benefits, and even more. And even more importantly, thousands of millionaires willing to share their stories and success within this. You can't avoid bumping into a video on YouTube or anywhere on the internet about investing into real estate or why it's such a great tax strategy to do so. So history has proven time and time again that investing in real estate is a millionaire's recipe. It's been the best proven asset class in the history of the US economy, and luckily you're well on your way by learning through videos like this to being able to invest in it yourself. And let me share a secret with you. The San Francisco Bay Area market, specifically San Francisco, is one of the best real estate markets to put capital into because it's so limited by size and its ability to bring more inventory to the market. The demand is always so high and you have so many people continuing to move here for job and life opportunities that no matter at which point you do finally break into this market, you're going to own an asset that will only continue to appreciate in value. So if you're ready to invest in your first building, your first investment property, even take part in an actual real estate investment fund, shoot me a DM at Arjun Mortgage on Instagram, and I will gladly consult with you and guide you through that process. Again, if you found this video helpful, please make sure that you like it so that we can reach more people like you. Stay subscribed to my channel, and we will see you guys on the next video.